Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducks of Gaming and day 2 update for Mayhem. It's been a very, very interesting day. I've been a bit all over the place with what I was trying to do. Oh, where do we start? Okay, first thing I was trying to do was get Heatshiver. So I did stuff like farm Delirium Mirrors to try and get Delirium Orbs, use Harvest to turn them into unique orbs, but didn't get any success with turning them into the right one. I've gone into strong boxes on the Atlas tree, so that I can corrupt them all and get operative strong boxes to then get scarabs to put in for uniques. Did get some uniques drop, but not the ones I was looking for. And then as I'm farming through the strong boxes, I ended up having a 6-link drop. So I thought that would be enough with that Heatshiver and my terrible, terrible gear to get Frostblades going. And it just wasn't with some of the mods you end up on the maps with. And then obviously Arch Nemesis and stuff. The single target just wasn't there, and I didn't want to have to run a second single target skill for days. So I made the decision to switch into Lightning Strike since I had a 6-link. So I used all my orbs to basically respec so I could get Pierce onto the tree. And it felt a little bit better, but it still didn't feel amazing. But single target wise, at least with Vaal Lighting Strike, I could get bosses down. I think the first map I did was something like 30% extra boss life and enemies take 30% less damage. And it was a struggle, but I did it. And I know with Frostblades, I just wouldn't have been able to get that done. Then I had the idea of why don't I use my mythic orbs that I've had drop. So I had 2 mythic orbs drop in Beyond. The idea was Tainted Fusions, but I had a 6-link drop in the meantime anyway, so I don't really need those. And what mythic orbs do is if you have a corrupted rare item, you use the orb on that item and it'll either turn it up a tier, which in my case would be unique, or it destroys the item. So mythic orbs would needed to be used on Leather Hood, which are item level 20. So I went to the beginning of Act 3, turned my loot filter off, and just farmed enemies until I had 2 of them drop. Linked them, corrupted them, and they actually both turned into a Heatshiver. So I'm now pretty much good to go with Frostblades. The issue I have is I've used every single Regret Orb to spec into Lightning Strike, and I've got 3 nodes on the tree that I don't need, which is Pierce, and I need to get back to the cold nodes to give me some extra freeze duration and things like that. And then I need to try and get a claw with crit, so I can then get more damage, and then I can swap my increased crit gem out for Trinity. So what we'll do is just go through my character at the moment. So it's level 83. I'm not really much more than into early yellow maps in terms of Atlas completion, but I am really, really enjoying this event. I think it's really, really good fun. It is super challenging. Like if you get a unique map, for example, I had to abandon a unique map because it ended up with with the mods on the unique map anyway, 75% more monster damage and 20 Harbinger packs, and I just couldn't get through them to get through the map, and I got absolutely wrecked, so I had to abandon the map. And there's been another couple that have been really awkward. So I've taken essences, but if you get tormented spirits, they take on the essences. With other mods, it can make them super, super difficult. But it is fun and it's really, really challenging. So I am going to go back to Frostblades because I love the security of freezing enemies. Lightning Strike feels better to play. You've got your Vaal Lighting Strike for moments where you need to get more burst damage, but I just want to play Frostblades in this event. So now that I managed to realize there was a fairly easier way to get Heatshiver, I did get lucky in getting Mythic Orbs to drop. They're not particularly common, but I had 2 drops, so I thought I might as well use them. I'm having no luck anywhere else getting this unique, and yeah, both of them turned into Heatshivers. So if we have a look at my Atlas tree, I've kind of gone all over the place, and it's, again, one of the problems with SSF. I do want to go Breach eventually, but I could have left these nodes till later because I'm not even touching Breaches at the minute. So then what I've done is to try and get my 6-link, I went into strong boxes, and that worked, and it actually ended up not being corrupted somehow. And then I've gone up to get Amplified Energies. So I don't want the one that gives 2 at the moment, but I will do. This was the more important one because I can start getting more Screaming and Shrieking Essences because my Claw is absolute garbage. And if I could get a decent Claw with a bit of crit on it, then I'm going to jump my DPS up an absolute ton. And then once I've got Heatshiver going, I think we're going to go and have some fun. So I'm going to go and take the Harbinger nodes here, and then I'm going to take Breaches where they open quicker, close quicker, and get more monsters. And then we'll go up and take the other Breach nodes where you can drop Breach Stones. Because the idea is, if I do ever get to a point where I can take on Maven, if I can do this invitation, this is going to be a nice way to farm Breaches really quick so we can get some Maven writs. And that's what I'm going to do. Maybe go over here, but I don't really want to because I need all of the Breaches, so I don't want to prioritize one, and it's quite a few travel points to get there. So that's where I am at the moment. The gear, which we'll go through, is pretty trash tier still, but it is SSF. So I've had a couple of pairs of these drop the 3-step assault boots, and they're just an easy way for me to fix my elemental ailments because I am phasing all the time as a raider. So this gives me movement speed, life, half decent evasion, and then 30% chance to avoid elite ailments. So I don't have to worry about that on my shield. The rest of the stuff is just rares with life and resistances. I haven't got anything else that's particularly good. My gear isn't the worst, but it's not great. My 6-link, I do want to roll at some point, but I need to shore my resistances up a bit more because I have to get fire resistance on this or I'm well under the cap. So I don't dare re-roll it at this stage. And as you can see, the claw is about as bad as you can get. It is T5 lightning damage, no attack speed, and crafted crit chance. And you actually have to unlock the higher levels of crit chance. So I haven't even been able to put that on it. So at the moment, the claw is just mega, mega, mega bad. But I'm only tackling sort of early yellow, late tier white maps at the moment. And now I'm going to drop back right to tier 1 to farm some essences. And hopefully some regrets. And then we can get back to Frostblades and see what we can do. But overall, if you haven't tried this event, I'd 100% recommend giving it a go. It's fun from Act 1. Like, it's very difficult in some of the early Act areas. Like, I think when the League launched, the first zone that you come into had like 20 Harbinger packs. It was difficult, but then you've got Orbs of Binding as soon as you leave that area, which is really, really helpful for getting your character progressed. And you're never short on currency to craft items. So even though it is difficult, you definitely end up with a better geared character than you would if you were just in standard SSF. I've got no idea what the trade environment is like because I haven't played, but I imagine as more and more people get to later tier maps, things become cheaper and cheaper. But that's kind of it for this update. I don't think there's much more to go through. We'll have a look at the death counter. It's not hideous. Oh, actually, it's way better than I thought it was. Yeah, considering I'm running with 0 armor, and I mean 0. We have no physical damage mitigation whatsoever, and I haven't dropped an armor flask. So I'm basically relying on this 80% evasion to keep me alive. If I get hit, especially because there's fizzes extra in lots of zones, I'm pretty much dead. But because you're a raider, you move really quickly, you're killing everything before it gets to you. It's why I'm not pushing higher tiers yet, because the bosses will kill me if I have to stand there for too long. And I've got all week, and I'm going to try and free up more time than I'd planned to play this event, because I really actually want to push on and take some endgame bosses down. So that's it for the video. Quite a quick update. Just really wanted to show where I am at the moment. I'm hoping when I bring the next update out that I'm got Frostblades going, I've got Heatshiver, and then I'm targeting the next parts of the build that I would like to go for. So that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.